So hello everyone, today I'm going to teach you how to find the f prime s by the definition of derivative when fx equal to s squared plus 1. So the first step we need to notice that what is the definition of derivative. Okay, so the formula or equation is f prime x equal to limit approaching to x h equal to 0 and fx plus h minus fx over h. This is the equation for the definition of derivative. So every time you see definition of derivative, write down this equation. Okay, so now we just plug in fx equal to s squared plus h, right? So how do we plug in the x plus h? So let's think about this. When fx equal to s squared plus 1, what is fa? fa is a squared plus 1. What is fc? fc is c squared plus 1. So apparently, whatever we have in the parentheses, we just replace it. Okay, so we just replace x with a, x with c, and if when the parenthesis is h plus x, we do the same thing. So for here, we have x plus h squared plus 1, right? We do the same thing. And then we plug in this equation into the highlight part here, okay? So what's the next step? We just plug it in, copy everything the same, plug it in. So h plus h squared plus 1, okay, fx. And what is fx? Apparently, fx is the equation over here, okay? So we just minus equation over there, which is s squared plus 1. Then we copy the h in the bottom. Okay, now we just solve for the equation on the top of the fraction. Okay, so now what is h plus h squared? Let's recall what is a plus b squared. A plus b to the second power equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, this is the equation that we learned before. And we do the same thing for this part. We just replace a with x and b with h. We replace every a with x and we replace every b with h. So we can have here, which is x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. That's what we have for here. So this part equal to this part. Now we just plug it in. So we have limit as h approaching to 0, x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 1. Where is the plus 1 from? It's from here, okay? And then we copy in the rest. So negative x minus 1. So someone might ask why there is a negative 1 here. So let's recall that something that we learned before. When we have two plus sign, the final result will be also a plus sign. When we have two negative sign, the final result will also a plus sign. When we have one plus sign and one minus sign, the final result will be a minus sign. When we have one minus sign and one plus sign, the final result will also be a minus sign. So apparently, the sign in front of the parenthesis is a minus sign or a negative sign. Why we look at a sign in front of parenthesis? Because 1 is in the parenthesis, okay? So according to there, we have one minus sign. Minus sign in front of the parenthesis. And what is a sign in front of the number 1? It's a positive of a plus sign. So 1 minus sign, 1 plus sign equal to 1 negative sign. And that's why we have -1 there, okay? Okay, let's keep going. Just copy down the edge. Now it's easy. We notice that there are s squared minus s squared, which means they equal 0. So we just cancel out with each other. And there's a +1, there's a -1. They also cancel out with each other because +1 minus 1 equals to 0. Okay? Now we copy down the rest of the thing. We have 2xh plus h squared over h. Now, do you know how to solve it? Okay, so apparently we cannot just plug in h equal to 0 to here because denominator cannot equal to 0. So we need to cancel this denominator. We need to get rid of this. So we need to do that by factor out the equation on the top. So how do we factor? We can take out the edge on the top because there is one edge, there's one edge here, so we can take out the. So we take out the edge. Now what is left in the parentheses is 2x plus h over h. Now do you see the problem? We can cancel out the h. What's left in the equation is as h approaching to 0, we have 2x plus h. Now we can just plug in h equals 0 to here, which is, oh, here's one thing that you need to notice. When we plug in the h, we don't need to write down this part. We don't need to write down the limit part when we already plug in the number. This part is only for you it's only remind you to plug in h equals to 0, okay? So now we already plug in 0 here, so we don't need the limit sign in front. We just need an equal sign, okay? So what's the final answer? The final answer is just going to be 2x. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day.